Alright, what's going on, Fantasy Baseball 10? This is the co-commissioner Flex, league manager, whatever you want to call me. Back to bring you this week's edition of the Fantasy Flex. I know last week I said that I was going to go out and do like a little status update, but I wound up recording one. Shit only took like 2 minutes, so I was like, you know what, let's just save it for the show. We'll get into the standings like we do every week. Basically, Division 1, you still got that being held down by the San Fran Giants. Then the Short Bus Crew are right behind them. The Giants got a record of 12-3. The Crew have a record of 9-6, and he's 3 games back. Behind him, you have the newly formed New York Yankees, formerly Team Villa. Good to show the activeness. He's got a 5-10 record, 7 games back. The Frisco Fire are at 3-12. 9 games back, and the St. Louis Cardinals at 2-13 are 10 games back in their division. Now we get up into Division 2. Division 2 is still being pretty much a dogfight to the end, looks like, between the Polk County Pistols and the Cali Flamethrowers, both sporting 13-2 records. The next team that is in line to chase both of those teams would be the Aussie Abroad with his 8-7 record. However, he's 5.5 back from even leading in the division. Then you got Team Fielder, who's 6-9, 7 games back, followed by the Crew's Broomsticks, who are 4-11, 9 games back. Let's get up into last week's matchups. Last week's matchups went a little something like this. It was an extended matchup due to the fact that you had the All-Star game, which is why you guys haven't seen my pretty face in 2 weeks. First matchup pitted the 13-2 Polk County Pistols up against the 9-6 Short Bus Crew. That was a duel to the end. Short Bus is an active dude, and he kept me on my toes. 767 to 695. The leading scorer for the Pistols was Mark Teixeira with 58 points. Top scorer for the Short Bus Crew was Delman Young with 67 points on the week's matchup. Next matchup we'll jump into will be the Crew's Broomsticks, sporting his 4-11 record, going up against the New York Yankees with his 5-11 record, or 5-11 record. Welcome. This is a new owner. It's actually not the Brian Villa or whatever his name was. Based on what I'm reading right now, it looks like his name is AJ Garrison. Welcome. I see you call yourself the Yankees, but take a look at my squad. My squad should be called the Yankees, but I won't even go there though. We're the Pistols, because we're banging through this league. 5-10 is his record. The score for that one resulted in a win for the Crew's Broomsticks with a 541 advantage over 499. So 541 to 499. Do the math. 42 points. And we'll move on up to the third matchup. Before we do that, Crew's Broomsticks top scorer with 63 points was Nelson Cruz. I apologize for that. And the Yankees top scorer was Chris Carpenter with a booming 73 points throughout last week's matchups. Now I move up into the third matchup of the week. That's going to put the Aussie Abroad going up against the Frisco Fire. Aussie Abroad got an 8-7 record. The Frisco Fire are at 3-12. I know that's also a new owner too, I believe. The Frisco Fire do take that matchup with a score of 618 to 566. The Aussie Abroad's leading scorer, Ricky Weeks, with a score of 65 points. Top scorer for the Frisco Fire was Carl Pavano with 73 points on the matchup for last week, or last week and a half if you want to say. Next matchup puts up Team Fielder up against the San Fran Giants, or the San Francisco Giants. Team Fielder's got a 6-9 record going up against the 12-3 Giants. So the Giants are the giant in their division. 666 to 560 was the final score. Princess Fielder's most valuable player or top scorer for the week would be Cole Hamels with 50 points. The top scorer for the Giants would be Ryan Howard with his 67 spot he put up in the last week's matchup. Now the last matchup of the week goes the Cali Flamethrowers up against the St. Louis Cardinals. Saw the Cardinals doing moves, so it looks like we got a new active owner taking over there, going up against another very well active owner. Got to give shout outs to my boy Cali here, because I'm dueling with the man. Cali's got a 13-2 record going up against a 2-13 Cardinals team. and the score on that matchup basically reflected that. The score on the matchup was 682 to 418. Leading score for the Cardinals would be John Danks with 43 points. Leading score for the Cali Flamethrowers was Amaris Ramirez, 69 points in that matchup. I guess we could preview this week's matchup since they've already currently underway. So check your scoreboard tabs. You can get a fresh peek at all these matchups that I'm looking at right now. You got the 13-2 Polk County Pistols taking on the 2 and 13 St. Louis Cardinals. Short Bus Crew, who's got a 9-6 record, are taking on the Aussie Abroad. So that's a very close matchup as well. So we'll see how that goes for position for the Short Bus Crew. Taking on the Aussie Abroad, like I said, 8-7. The New York Yankees, with its 5-10 record, will be taking on Team Fielder with her 6-9 record. Then you got the Frisco Fire, who's 3-12, taking on the 4-11 Cruz Broomsticks, followed by the heavyweight matchup of the week, folks. The San Francisco Giants, 12-3 record, going up against the Cali Flamethrowers, 13-2 record. So, two team leaders or division leaders going head-to-head for supremacy in the league. That is this week's matchups. We'll see what happens and what proceeds throughout that. And some other news and notes. Those that I sent out invites for the basketball league, I've already put your keepers and such on your team already. I think I need just 3 more teams now. I need 2 East teams and 2 West teams to make it fairly, even. We can have an East and West division. I'm also planning on doing the same thing in football, so let me know if anybody's interested. In football, it'll be a little different. I do run deep rosters in my football leagues. I'll post one up so you guys can see. But I'm planning on doing the same thing, sort of like a dynasty type league, where what you would do is you take a team, you pick it, you represent them, and you get 6 keepers. But out of those 6 keepers, basically, you have to take the quarterback, you have to take the defense. So that knocks you down from there to 4 other open spots. So, and those 4 other spots you can do whatever. You can pick 2 running backs from your team, a running back, a wide receiver, tight end, whatever combination you want. But out of your 6 keepers, 2 of those will be the defense of the team and the actual team's quarterback. So, I mean, you can get crazy with the other 4 picks that you have, or the other 4 keepers from that team. If you want, you can keep the kicker, so you don't have to draft a kicker. It's all up to you. And just let me know what you want to do. I know the teams right now taking are the Jets, the Giants. I'm not giving out the Colts or the Saints since they made it to the Super Bowl last year. So those players can get drafted. And let me see. Jets, Giants, Cowboys, and the Patriots are the teams that have been taken so far. And I think the Bears are going to be taken too. But hey, football's a different sport, man. You got people that love different teams for different reasons. And I figure, hey, I might as well try it out here too. I got a fantasy dynasty type league going on in every sport, so I figure I might as well throw the hand down in football. Plus, I mean, there's only 1 football game a week, so you can never get enough fantasy football. But back on the baseball tip, want to thank everybody for being active, everybody for tuning in. If this is your first show or your first show, this is the Fantasy Flex. This is a weekly wrap-up show. Try to run this every week. Was slacking a while back, but keeping it back down due. My wife had some things to do with the computer, but we're all past that now. And like I said, thanks for being active. Thanks for staying in. Tune in. Next week should have it up and rolling by Monday at 3 o'clock. I don't know, man. I'm just having a problem uploading on YouTube. I was getting recorded, but it wouldn't upload on YouTube, so I'm going to have to see if I can figure out another way to get this done. That is the Fantasy Flex, and Flex is out.